Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I haven't uploaded in a while, my apologies. Not a lot to talk about and also a bit busy, so yeah, my apologies. Let's talk about Nottingham Forest. That is maybe a bit more interesting. Now, I think we should win this game. Because, like, look at it from this way, right? We now no longer have midweek. We only play one game a week. One game a week. We should be rested. All of these players should be rested. All of these players should be fit to play, minus out injuries, of course. We should not have problems anymore in the Premier League, fitness-wise. We cannot be saying, oh, the old players are tired, like Kovacic, or Bernardo Silva if he plays. Because, yeah, they get tired when they play 2-3 games a week. One game a week, one old player surrounded by younger players. We should not be having tired players here. Our players should be fully fit and our defense is solid. But we have three good center backs here. Of course, Guardiola plays as left back, but we have three really good center backs in case we transition into like a back three, which we've seen pretty much since Kusanov started playing here, where Rico Lewis pushes up and he usually goes very high up the pitch as well. He usually gets further than Kovacic. He tries to play with Salvinho when Salvinho is on the right, and this is fine. I think this back three can handle transitions. I think Gonzalez can handle transitions. Kovacic can beat the 8 here roaming in space between, and then Marmoush. I mean, we've talked about Marmoush, right? He rotates with Foden. I think we should win. I think we should win because I look at Nottingham Forest right now. They're looking a bit tired. They are the opposite. Like, I think Nottingham Forest is now getting winded and coming at the end of their good run here in the season. It's been a really good season for them, don't get me wrong. But for us it's been a very poor season. We're at the opposite ends. Normally we will be levels ahead. But we're at a low point and they're at a high point. I think we're coming back up from our low point now. So we should be getting past them. And Forest, don't get me wrong, they've had a great season by their own standards. If Man City had the same amount of points as last season, Man City would be, I believe, 12 points clear of Nottingham Forest. So obviously we're not as good as the team from last season. But what I am saying here is, we're getting back to that level. So staying humble, of course, staying humble, thank you Erling Haaland. We've got to stay humble because this is an away game and a tough ground. Don't get me wrong, it's tough to play Forest away. But we have to start getting some chests because I look at the last 10 games, not 11, like this is the 11th game, and I think we have 10 winnable fixtures here. 10 fixtures that we maybe should win even. We can end the season on a high note. If we don't win against Forest, I'm not distraught. I'm gonna be honest. If we get a draw, I don't mind that much because we're gonna get top 4 anyway, I believe. And even top 5 will be enough for the Champions League, by the way. And I just think that the FA Cup is more important. Of course, tough game this as well. But here is why I think we can win. This game doesn't matter that much to us, if you actually think about it. Again, we have 10 easy games coming up. Forest, they're a strong team. We're probably comfortably top 4. There's no pressure. There is no pressure on these players. There's been pressure on these players in the FA Cup, which is why I think we've played worse, because for some reason these players are crumbling under pressure at the moment. PSG, Real Madrid, all the collapses that have happened, Arsenal. This game has no pressure. I think we get, let's say 2-goal lead in this game, which is possible. Our attack is still the best in the league when it's fit. But when our attack is fit, this front 3 is the best in the league. I don't think Salah is better than Haaland. Maybe as a winger he's obviously better, but as an overall attacker I don't think he's better. The problem Man City has had is the midfield. That's the problem we've had. If our midfield was better, we would have scored the most goals in the Premier League by a country mile. Haaland has been robbed, by the way, this season. Robbed. Go check out his statistics before and after the Rodri injury. Because obviously after the Rodri injury, Pep Guardiola started panicking a bit and started having to change stuff around in midfield. Go check out the statistics. Yeah, Haaland, Robbed, guys, robbed. Any Arsenal YouTubers talking about how Haaland was robbed, but yeah, that's besides the point. We have the best attack in the league. Our midfield, like Nico Gonzalez, I'm talking about him starting to get more used to the Premier League now. Kovacic, I think, can still do a role as an 8. Foden, like he'll play. He's not been good this season, but hopefully with the rest of the team improving, Foden will start improving again as well. This is not my preferred lineup, by the way. This is what Pep will play, I believe. I'll talk about my own personal lineup in a second, but we have to start getting some chests because, I'm having conversations here with Man City fans. Big up to Ahmed, by the way. Ahmed, loyal viewer of the channel, and I'm like I understand what he's saying, and I agree with it. And I'm like, this is not how Man City should act. We need to stay humble. Absolutely. We need to respect teams like Forest, who is very good. Absolutely. But we can't be going into an away game against Nottingham Forest and saying, we're gonna lose, we're gonna draw. Because I feel like the end of the season here, we need to end it with a bang. If Pep does not get this game over the line, I'm not distraught. If we lose, if it's 1 goal, I'm gonna be angry. But it's not gonna be the worst problem in the world. If we lose by 5 goals now, that's a different story. But if we get a draw, if we win, if we win, I'll be happy. If we get a draw, I don't mind. But I want to see us having some jest again in these games. We can beat Forest. Player for player, we are better. Our midfield is old, sure. But you can put young midfielders in now. McAtee, well, he gets some minutes. We'll talk about McAtee in a second. Because we could be selling McAtee to Leverkusen in return for Florian Wirtz. In fact, let's talk about that right now. So, let me do my own personal preferred lineup. I don't think Pep will do this, but this is what I want to see. McAtee. Voice crack, my apologies. I would have McAtee in here. I would still have Lewis pushing up from a right back. I guess it's a box midfield then. It's not really a box midfield, but you get the point. Gonzalez should be here. So, I would play this, and I would want Doku off the bench. Where is Doku? But the problem is, I kind of want to start Doku, because obviously that one defender from Nottingham Forest that makes some weird comments about Doku. But I feel like starting Doku is too obvious. I feel like if we start Doku, they'll be prepared for playing against Doku. Now, we can play with Doku and then have Marmoush in midfield. That works. But the reason I want McAtee here is because I think he provides a bit more in midfield. McAtee is going to provide a bit more in midfield, a bit more link-up play. And midfield is what I'm worried about. Again, out attack, I don't mind. I don't mind out attack. Doku, sure, Doku. Marmoush, sure, this is fine. This is fine. People need to stop talking about the attack. The problem is here. And on right back area, but let's focus on here right now. We have Marmoush in here and Doku on the left. That's a lot worse than if we have McAtee. That is what I think. So, if we play with McAtee, I think we might see a very good game by Man City. Our one good game this season was against Nottingham Forest. That one win in 14, that was against Nottingham Forest. At the Etihad, of course. We can beat them. We need to have some chest here. I will say 2-1 to Man City. And here is the thing here. I have been negative on this channel, obviously. But here is why I think we need to start having some chest. We need to have some standards. Forget chest. We need to have some standards. Nottingham Forest is not good right now. They're good by their own standards. They are not good by Man City standards. Man City is not good by Man City standards. So we need to get back to Man City standards. I think the end of the season, we have no more Europe. We play only once a week. If we can't play like at Man City standards now, let's be honest, that FA Cup is not a guarantee. People talk like we've already won the FA Cup. But then they're like, oh, Forest, that's a difficult game. No. If you want to win the FA Cup, you beat Forest in the Premier League. You show that you're a good team. You show that you're better than Forest. You show that you're the old Man City. That is my take on it. Just show something here. That's what I'm hoping from this game. I suppose that's a lot of words here that I've said just to say that, but that is honestly what I want. I'm not sure if you'll win, but I will predict a 2-1 to Man City. Tell me if you agree, disagree down below. Now, no disrespect to Fortress, by the way. Let's talk about Fortress before I end this video here. Like and subscribe, by the way. Nottingham Forest has been really good this season. And let me share my screen, in fact. Let me show you how staggeringly good they have been. Nottingham Forest this season, I believe, have like double the points than they did at this point last season. So last season they had 32 points. They finished on 32 points. This season they are already on 48. And there's still 11 games left to go. So we'll do transfer market because you can actually do something very cool on transfer market. Let me show you guys. Give me a second. It's taking a while to load. So match day 27, right? Yeah, 27. We'll go to last season, match day and table, and we'll check how many points Forest was on 10. 27 last season. Nottingham Forest at that point was on 20 points. This point last season, Nottingham Forest had 20 points. Now they have 48. Now that might be because of the point reduction actually. 6 times 3 is 36. Yeah, it's because of the points deduction. It's because of points deduction, right? Because they would have more, obviously. They would have more. But still, like, they would have 18, 24. They would have 24 points. They had a 4 points deduction. So, still, they have been double as good. This team needs some credit for that. They also beat Liverpool. Are they the only team that have beaten Liverpool this season? I believe they are. Yeah, Liverpool has lost only 1 game. And they lost against Eindhoven, if you count that, with a full B team. So, oh yeah, Plymouth beat Liverpool. I forgot about that. Bigger Plymouth. Bigger Plymouth. I guess beating Liverpool is not that big of a feat. Or we are massive. We did beat Plymouth, didn't we? But they've been really good this season, and I think they deserve full credit. This shows how stupid PSR and FFP is. If Nottingham Forest can just buy their way through FFP and PSR and take the punishment and be better off for it, can someone explain to me what the point is of having those rules? I've never been pro PSR. If you watch my channel, you know that. I hate FFP and PSR. But if they do exist, they should be functional. And they're not. So just scrap the rules. Honestly, it's just easier to scrap it in my opinion. But, oh well, I guess nobody cares about my opinion. That's it for me. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.